Namaste, myself Name-Shivi Saxena, faculty of Physiotherapy and Diagnostics, and my discipline is Medical Laboratory Technology from Jayoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur. So, welcome in Digital Version 2.0. So, my today topic is Ancylostoma to reader. So, firstly, start in introduction. A common name, the old world hookworm. The parasite was first discovered in 1838 by an Italian physician Angelo Duvini. So, geographical distribution. It is widely distributed in all tropical and subtropical countries. It is found in Europe, North Africa, India, like Punjab and UP. Habitat. The adult worm lives in the small intestine of man, particularly in the urine. And morphology. It is a small, grayish white cylindrical worm, and it appears reddish brown when freshly passed in fecus due to ingested blood in its intestinal tract. The anterior end of the worm is bent slightly dorsally, hence the name hookworm. The buccal cavity is armed with two pairs of teeth and two lobe-like teeth. It has both digestive and excretory system. There are five glands connected with the digestive system, one of them called an esophageal gland and secrete a ferment which prevents the clotting of blood from the site of bite. So male size smaller 8 mm in length, shape of tail so expanded in an umbrella-like fashion. So anginital opening is posteriorly opens with growth, and female size longer than male 12.5 mm in length. Shape of tail prepping no extended fossa and genital opening middle third of the body. The worm assumes a Y-shaped figure during copulation. So copulatory brusa, this consists of three lobes, one dorsal and two ventral. Each lobe is supported by chitinous rays, so total number of rays are 30. Lifespan of the adult worm is about 3 to 4 years. So this structure is this structure and male and female Ancylostoma urina. Okay. And egg, oval or elliptical in shape, measuring 65 and 40 mm. So colorless and surrounded by a transparent hyaline shell membrane, contain a segmented ovum, usually with four blastomeres, has a clear shape between the egg shell and segmented ovum. Floats in saturated solution of common salt, and the egg when passed out in fecus are not infected. And larva. There are two types of larval rehabilitation: larva and Falciform larva. The rehabilitiform larvae 250 mm in length and hatches out in soil in 48 hours. The rehabilitiform larva molt twice on third day and fifth day. It then develops into uh, falciform larva 500 to 600 mm in length. This is the infective stage of parasite. The time taken for the development from eggs to falciform larva is on an average 8 to 10 days. So, so next is life cycle. So, life cycle, no intermediate host is required. Man is only the definitive host for Ancylostoma duodeno, and uh, and uh, the various stages of life cycle are as follows. So, stage first passes of eggs from an infected host. The eggs containing segmented ova with four blastomeres are passed out in the feces of the human host. And stage second, so development in soil. From each egg, a rehabilitiform larva 250 mm in length, so hatches out in the soil in about 48 hours. The rehabilitiform larva molt twice, so third and fifth days, and later in then develops into a falciform larva 500 to 600 mm in length, the infective stage of the parasites. The time taken for development from egg to falciform larva is 8 to 10 days. And stage third, entrance into a new host. The falciform larvae are infected to man. The larvae gain entrance to the body by penetrating the skin. Stage fourth, migration. The larvae penetrate the skin and enter into the lymphatics or small vein. It is then carried to the heart and lungs. In the lungs, it breaks the capillaries and enters the alveoli. They then migrate on to the bronchi and trachea and larynx over the epilogically to the back of the pharynx and are ultimately swallowed. On entering the esophagus, a third molting takes place and a terminal buccal capsule is formed. Stage fifth, localization and laying of egg. The larvae settle down in the small intestine, and the larvae, with the help of buccal capsule attached to the intestinal mucosa, and grow into an adult worm. In about a month, they are sexually mature and eggs are laid by the female. The eggs are passed in stool and then the cycle is repeated. And next, pathogenicity and clinical features. So, the worm causes hookworm disease or ankylostomasis in men. Mode of infection. This occurs when men walk barefoot on the fecally contaminated soil. The filariform larvae penetrate directly through the skin with which they come in contact. The most common site of their entry are the thin skin between the toes, and the dorsum of the feet and the inner side of the soles. The larvae can penetrate any part of the skin which is sufficiently thin. An infection may also occur by the accidental drinking of water contaminated and filariform larvae. Infective agent filariform larva migration through lungs, portal of entry, skin, site of localization, small intestine, and pathogenic effects. These may be considered under two heads. First, pathogenic effect caused by Ancylostoma larva, and second, pathogenic effect caused by adult form. So first, pathogenic effect caused by Ancylostoma larva. So first, listen in the skin. So first, Ancylostoma dermatitis, so brown peach, and second, tripping eruption. And ground itch, that is ankylostome dermatitis, so occur at the site of entry despair in 1 to 2 weeks. Creeping eruption, so is a condition in which filariform larvae wander about through the skin for several weeks, month up to 2 years, producing a reddish itchy pump effect. And second, lesion in the lungs. So bronchitis and bronchopneumonia may occur when the larvae break through the pulmonary capillaries and enter alveolar space. A marked eosinophilia occurs at this stage. And next, pathogenic effect caused by adult worm. So the adult worm inhabit the small intestine and anemia of microcytic hypochromic type develops. The causes of anemia: first, chronic blood loss. Adrenal sucked about 260 ml, that means 0.2 ml blood per day, but a greater amount of blood is lost by bleeding from the site of bite. It is facilitated by an anticoagulant-like substance secreted by the esophageal gland. Second, nutritional defects. Deficiency of the available iron and hemolytic substance in the diet. With iron deficiency, a microcytic hypochromic anemia. With deficiency of folic acid and vitamin B12, a macrocytic type of anemia. And clinical feature. This may be considered under two heads. First, gastrointestinal manifestation, so duodenal ulcer, abnormal appetitis, and hyperacidity, and acrohydria. So, effects of anemia. The skin assumes a solid appearance like a light yellow color, and the mucous membrane of the eye, lips, and tongue show extreme pallor, lack of color. Next step is diagnosis. So examination of the stool in the feces. Second, detection of larvae in the sputum, and the next occur blood test positive and blood examination so esophageal. And treatment albendazole 400 mg once and ferrous sulfate 400 mg thus daily, and folic acid and vitamin B12. So prevention of soil pollution by proper control of sewage disposal and personal protection, so wearing of boots and gloves. So this session is completed, and any query in mention in comments. So thank you and namaste.